I gave an interview called Vega6, and the interview was on 12 Feb 2025, and that was the third round, and I gave it on virtual. So they asked me questions from PHP and the framework coding matter. So those questions I want to share. So they asked me, how do you use curl? So curl means client URL library, is used in PHP to send requests, fetch data from APIs, and interact with external services. So they asked me, how do you use this? So I said basic curl request we use through Git, not to Git, through get. So if we want to fetch data from a URL, so like you have a variable dollar URL, and then you have an URL, or you can say that that will be the API. So then first we have to initiate curl. For that $ch is equal to curl underscore init, and inside that we will keep the $URL variable. Then we will set option curl underscore set opt, and in the bracket $ch comma curl opt underscore return transfer comma true. Then we'll execute the request $response equal to curl underscore execute curl underscore exec, and in the bracket $ch. Then we'll close the curl session curl underscore close, and in the bracket $ch. So the output will get echo $response. Okay, so this is a basic URL request in APIs. Okay, so what it does, initialize a curl session, fetch data from the given URL, and return the response instead of outputting it directly. Second is the second we can use APIs like the sending data with the curl, that is the post request. So we have to submit data to an API. So let us suppose we have an $URL, one variable is there, and some URL we have like HTTPS or JSON placeholder dot typeecho.com/posts. Then $data we have one variable, and inside that we have the title, body, and user ID. Then $ch equal to curl underscore init, in the bracket $URL. Then set curl option. So curl underscore set option ch curl option return transform column true. Second is a curl underscore set option $ch curl opt underscore post true. Then curl set option $ch comma curl opt dot post field, that is JSON underscore encode, in the bracket dollar data. Then curl underscore set opt, in the bracket $ch, then curl opt underscore http header. Then we have the content comma type equal application slash JSON. Okay, so $response equal to curl underscore exec, and in the bracket $ch. Then curl underscore close, inside that $ch, then echo $response, and this is done. So what it does, send a post request with JSON data, use curl opt underscore post field to send data, then sets content type colon application.json in the header. Okay, so these are the two. Third one is the sending data with the curl, that is a put request, updating data using put. So dollar URL is equal to one URL we have slash posts slash one. Then dollar data equal to title body update content, because we are updating data in using put. Then dollar ch curl underscore init underscore in the bracket dollar URL. So we initialize the curl. Then curl underscore set opt ch curl opt underscore return transfer true. Second curl underscore set opt dollar ch curl opt underscore customer request, then put. Then curl underscore set opt dollar ch curl post field JSON encode dollar data. Then curl underscore set opt dollar ch curl opt underscore http header. Then content type equal to application slash JSON. So underscore, so dollar response equal to curl underscore exec in the bracket dollar ch. Then curl underscore close is equal to dollar ch. Then echo dollar response, and this is done. So what we have done, send a put request to update data. Fourth one is the sending data with the curl delete request. So delete data from an API. So we have one dollar URL equal to one website, and inside the posts and then slash one. So dollar ch equal to curl underscore init underscore dollar URL. Then curl underscore set opt in the bracket dollar ch curl opt underscore return transfer true. Second curl underscore set opt dollar ch curl opt underscore customer request delete. Then dollar response is equal to curl underscore exe and dollar ch, then curl close, then curl underscore close in the bracket dollar ch, then echo response. So what it does, sends a delete request to remove a resource. Fifth is the handling URL errors. Check if the request was successful. So dollar ch is equal to curl underscore init. Inside that we have one URL, then slash post, then one. So curl underscore set opt in the bracket dollar ch curl opt return transfer comma true. Then dollar response is equal to curl underscore exec dollar ch. Then if curl underscore errno in the bracket dollar ch, so echo curl error dot curl underscore error in the bracket dollar ch, else response will get. Then we'll close the curl using curl underscore close in the bracket dollar ch. So what it does, uses curl error no bracket error function and curl error to check the error. Okay, so fetching. Sixth in API is the fetching data with the authentication. Some API require authentication, like you have one dollar URL slash protected resources, then dollar ch is equal to curl underscore init dollar curl, then curl underscore set opt dollar ch curl return transfer true, curl underscore set opt dollar ch curl underscore user pwd username password. That is the basic authentication. Third is the curl underscore set opt dollar ch curl opt http header authorization, where your token here. Okay, so response, dollar response equal to curl underscore exec in the bracket dollar ch, then curl underscore close, then dollar ch, then echo dollar response. Okay, so what it does, uses basic authentication with curl opt underscore user password, use bearer token authentication in headers. Okay, so this is all about the APIs. Okay, so they ask me the how do you do validation in CodeIgniter. Okay, so I said first load the form validation library. Okay, so you can do it by two ways. First is the this load library in the bracket form validation, or we can use autoload in the application config underscore autoload.php. Then dollar autoload library equal to array. Inside that we have the form validation. Okay, now the main thing is how the set validation rules. using the code igniter. So generally we do it inside the controller. Okay. So public function submit underscore form, this load library form underscore validation. Then this form validation set rules username require, and then minimum underscore length is equal to 5, maximum length is equal to 12. That means we are using username which length uh, range from 5 to 12. Okay. So second is that this form validation set rules email require valid email. Okay, so that should be the valid email. Third is this form validation set rules password equal to password require minimum length 6. So run validation, this form validation run equal to false, so this load view my form. Okay, else process with data form submitted successfully. Okay, and so these kind of question they asked me. Also they asked me, okay, that validation rule I have already shared. And next question they asked me, what is the difference between include and require? Okay, so include and require. So if the file is missing, include shows a warning and continues execution. In the case of require, show a fatal error and stop execution. So this thing I told them. Okay. Also they asked me, okay, curl I have already shared. That curl is a client URL library used in PHP to send HTTP request, fetch data from API, interact with the external services. And there are many ways to do it. Okay. And also they ask me, have you created custom function in CodeIgniter? So I said yes. So they said, how did you make? So I created a helper file in the app helper, my helper.php, and then load the helper in the controller. The public function index helper my underscore helper echo say hello. Then step 3, I defined a root, like the roots get / home index. Then run the project, start the server, PHP Spark serve, or you can use your gem server. So the output you will get the like the hello zone. So API I have already said, an application programming interface or API define the classes, method, function, and variable that your application will need to call in order to carry out its desired task. In the case of the PHP application that need to communicate with database, the necessary APIs are usually exposed via PHP extension. Okay. So what is the difference between curl and API? If you are providing data, then use API. If you need to request or send data, then use curl. If you are using JavaScript, use fetch or Axios instead of curl. Okay. Then they ask me, what is the inner join? So I said inner join return only the rows where there is a match in both the table. Like we have two tables, employees and department. So select employees.id as employee ID, employee name as employee name, department name as department from employees. Inner join department on employee dot department ID equal to department dot ID. They asked me what is a fuller join, full outer join. So I said return all the rows from the both the table. If there is no match, null value are returned for column from the table and doesn't have a match. Okay. So select employee.id as employee ID, employee.name as employee name, department.department name as department. From employees, left join departments on employees.department underscore ID equal to department.id. They are asking permissions in coordinator. So permissions in coordinator are used to control access to different parts of application, and you can manage permission using roles, authentication and authorization. Okay. So we can use it restriction access in controller, and using filters for permission control. Okay. And also we can use the using shield authentication. Okay. So generally we have three types, like the manual session check, small application with few permission. Second is the filter protecting root based on the roles. Third is the shield authentication, full authentication with user role. Then they ask me get and post method. So I said get method send data from the URL, making it visible. It is used to retrieve data from the server. For example, localhost event demo user get user and query string ID equal to 10. So if we use then we'll create our routes get user control double colon get user. Then we'll create a controller user controller, and we'll create a function public function get user $id equal to this request get id, then return user id equal to $id. Then we click on the local host event demo user get user query string id equal to 10, then output will be 10. What is the post method? Post send data in request body, keeping it hidden. It is used to send or submit data to the server. So for that we have to create a view file, and then we have to create a controller.php and return view user underscore form. Then public function save user $name equal to this request get post equal get post name, $email equal to this request get post email. Then return username equal to $name, user email $email. Then we'll create routes get user form user controller index, then routes post user save user controller. Then update the form with the base underscore URL. Then we'll create a view, and there we'll use the user base URL user slash save user. Then we'll create two text field, name and email. Then we'll submit it. Then we'll open that form. Then we'll send data. Then we'll get the output username and email. Okay. They ask me what is the CSRF. So I said cross-site request forgery is the CSRF. So it is a security feature that prevent unauthorized request from being executed on behalf of user. In Coordinator 4, CSRF protection is enabled by default. So how do you use CSRF? So add CSRF field inside the form, and okay, like you have form action equal to user underscore save user. Then you can use the CSRF underscore field. Then you have two input text name, and you have one input text name. Then you submit. How to use CSRF in Ajax? So include the CSRF token in the Ajax request. Okay, and disabling CSRF for API. To disable CSRF for API, update app slash config slash filters dot php. So CSRF accept is equal to APIs. So summary, CSRF is enabled by default. Use CSRF underscore field in form. Include CSRF token in AJAX request, and you can disable CSRF for API in filters PHP. So this was my third round of interview. Now I have one more round in Vega 6. So I'll share that interview also. Till then, bye.